Okay. Before we start the panel discussion today, I'd like you to visit, if you are in AA team, I'd like you to visit the survey. So there's a third survey. If you haven't filled out, so far there are 16 people who completed, and we need 60 who need to complete a exam. So if you haven't done it, even if you are in the study group, please do so. And I will ask Halima to come here to share how to take a CQ, the teaching evaluation. Because last time when I asked, many of you, about half of you left. So I want to give you the time to do it. And I heard that some people have never classes. So just in case you are new to teaching evaluation, I will ask Halima to show you how to find the link. And while you are completing it, I will need to be outside. And so TAs are also interns, other than the video interns, need to be outside. So we'll come back in 5 minutes or so after Halima showing where to go and find the evaluation link.
So in your email, you will find like this SSEQ. So if you go visit this link, you will find some survey questionnaire. You can answer it. How many of you didn't do it yet or didn't get this email? Should be everyone receive this email. Did you find it?
you are still working on it, you can. Okay, shall we start the first panel discussion? So we have 3 people signed up. Zach, Brody, Caitlin, you will replace. Yeah, I will share the question, so you don't have to look at the Google Doc. So, can you be in front if you are here? Any other volunteers? Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Maybe I will sit here because we have seats available. So, okay, thank you for volunteering to be the panelists. The first theme is about identity, values, and whole person wellness. So let me just read the first question, and anyone can go first. If you can share your thoughts freely. So, how did this course change the way you understand wellness beyond physical wellness? Because this is a health and wellness. It has a health and wellness designation. Yeah. First one.
I'd say that we were kind of taught to throughout the course kind of make a plan of like how your life will be, and I feel like that kind of eliminates like any like emotional or like other problematic things that you could have in your life. Like that's beyond just like what you're actually feeling physically, and that can help you in that way.
Okay, yeah, and you can think about different wellness domains. We've talked about those domains, right? So, for example, occupational and spiritual, whereas emotional, intellectual, and so on, right? So, anyone else?
I liked the My Life as a Book because it helped me look ahead to the things I'll be doing, and it kind of gave me like a plan to structure, the rest of my college career off of.
Yeah, can I just jump off of that? Oh, wow. The My Life of the Book, I haven't really thought about that far in the future. So I guess like occupational wellness is really affected by that because I didn't think like I've been thinking about what I'm going to be doing in 5 years, but not about what my job's going to be in like 30. So that kind of helped me kind of visualize that better.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you envisioned, like 30 years from now and maybe 5 years from now, if you can tell?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a corporate innovation entrepreneurship student here, and so I've been working on starting my own business now. And I had kind of a vision of having the same thing for a long time, like going forward. And like between this class and other events in my life going on, it's made me realize that, yeah, that's just what I'm doing this business now. It does not mean that it's what I have to be doing in the future. And just kind of like understanding that what I'm doing now isn't automatically guaranteed that I'm going to be in the same spot.
Great. Thank you. Anyone else?
What was the next question?
Okay, next question. Let's go move on to next question. Next question. What values, strength, or life themes became clearer for you this semester?
I'd say like strengths of like working as a team and collaboration because we had to communicate with our groups, make sure we were getting all of our work done on time and to the standard that it should be. So I feel like that was definitely a big part, just working in groups and communication.
Were you able to identify your strength compared to others?
I would say so. Yeah, I think.
What are those strengths?
I think I'm good at getting like assigned a task and just being able to do that efficiently and what has to be done. Then I could also kind of help guide people to what they need to also do to make sure we're keeping on track. So a little bit of both, I'd say.
What was your role that you played?
I was the I think it was the strategist. I think yeah.
Nice. Great.
So I was also the strategist for my group, and I thought it did teach me a lot on just planning out the things to come. So I really appreciated that because I think I needed a little bit more help just making sure my life is structured, and I think being the strategist definitely helped with that.
Okay, great. So what were some activities that you've done as a strategist?
Well, I kind of just planned ahead like everything the group like had to do that week. So I kind of texted the group chat and said, "Hey guys, this is what we need to get done on Tuesday, and this is what we need to get done on Thursday."
Great. Yeah, thank you.
For me, probably, I think I noticed more of like a strength that I guess I tend to be a little bit better at public speaking than a fair amount of people and kind of presenting in general. So I think that's something where I was able to really kind of show throughout the various presentations, the videos, and kind of explaining what we are actually doing. And it kind of turned into a lot of times whenever we were talking about individual group things or presenting, I was somewhat of like a spokesperson for my group.
So is it a newfound strength, or you already knew that you had that strength?
I knew I've been developing it for a while, but this is like the first semester where between my classes, especially this one, I've really had to embrace it more.
Okay, great. Thank you. Moving on, how did exploring identity and life roles influence how you think about your future?
So for me, before this class, I didn't know I was a type 7. So when we figured that out, I thought that was really helpful to kind of teach me the best ways to learn and to focus.
Okay. In what sense? Like, for example, if you can be a bit more specific. So
yeah, so type 7s are, I think, more hands-on, and that kind of helped to start making flashcards for my classes.
Okay. So was that for your learning or for your team also?
That was outside of this class for like my finance classes
see.
and my business law class.
Yeah. Okay. So you try to exercise your creativity for your learning. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Nice.
I was also type 7, and I agree with what he was saying. It because you don't really know what your personality is. You just kind of know how you act. So I feel like that also helped me realize like what in the future that I would like to apply my strengths in something more hands-on, not just kind of sitting behind a computer. Like that's part of it, but something where I'm like working with other people and doing stuff like that as well.
Thank you.
I've done a fair amount of personality assessments before in the past, so I was kind of familiar with where I was at already coming in. But a big part that stood out for me was understanding how to go about embracing and engaging with other people, given their different personalities and how everybody needs to be approached in a different way. And that's something I hadn't really thought about before. I was always going about it how I would want to be approached. And so that's kind of a shift that I've been working on making.
Yeah, you're now cognizant of different personalities and how different people behave and pursue different things. All right. Okay. In what ways did My Life as a Book help you connect your personal story to meaning or direction?
I think that's one thing that I did plan on in the future. I didn't do a lot of career planning for the future, but the last several months before like the semester even started, I had been doing a lot of kind of looking like introspection and trying to figure out what my actual like purpose, what I want to do in my life, what's my why for like doing what I do. So that's something I kind of already had figured out for the most part. And then with the My Life as a book, it kind of just was me actually writing it down and actually seeing and reading what everything is and getting it just out of my mind. But so that's kind of the biggest benefit for that from My Life as a book for me.
I agree with that, where you're just writing things down and like seeing what you've actually done, and what like you want to do in the future. I feel like that definitely helps you get like the roadmap that you need because you know that you're capable of doing it, and just now you know what you want to do.
Yeah, same thing. I liked writing it down. So I always planned on, finishing college and then going to law school. And then I know even like you're writing me a letter of recommendation. So just putting that all onto the Google slide and being able to look at it, it was just nice to like have it written down and have a plan.
Great. Yeah. Speaking of letter of recommendation, when my former students asked me to write a recommendation, I try to look at My Life as a book because many of the students have gone through it. So I try to cite some of the things that they wrote and connect it to what they are applying for. So cool. All right. Last question. How do you now define a healthy or successful life differently than at the start of the semester?
I don't know if I would say I necessarily define it differently, but in my mind, it's more clear than it was before. So, like, I have a clear vision as to what I would feel makes my life a success if I was like on my deathbed and looking back, as compared to what my vision was before that.
I agree with that. That my definition probably isn't too much different, but kind of planning out like we did from when we were born to when we were like 60 plus on the final assignment. Just knowing what I kind of want to do and what I can do in those years, and just making sure that I like take that time not like for granted and just make the most of it.
I think before this class, I was very results based, and I kind of just my mood was based off my results. But now, because this class, I'm definitely trying to like focus on my mental more and make sure I can take care of that too.
Thank you. Do you have any final words to the classmates and to people maybe who are watching?
I would say for any students that are thinking about taking this class, they should take it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think you just have to be open to looking inward and evaluating yourself and your own values. You can't, if you go in just kind of going through the motions and not really caring, just writing stuff down, then you're probably not going to get too much out of it. But if you actually go in and want to figure out who you are, there's not going to be too many classes that are going to give you more than this one.
I agree with both of those things. Take the class and don't kind of just do it half-heartedly. Like put your full effort into it, and you'll definitely gain something from it.
Thank you so much. Okay. Next group, Henry, Ellie, and if there's anyone else who signed up later, yeah, please. Maybe we are missing one. Are there any volunteers? One or two? Two would be better if you. Yeah, you can come again. Yeah, much appreciated. Anyone else? Okay, so let's see the second one. So now we are moving on to hope and agency, mostly. So let's see. How did learning about hope and agency influence the way you approach goals or decisions?
I can start, I guess. So, I mean, the main takeaway from like agency in this course is just that it is putting you in the driver's seat of your decisions. And so just reminding yourself of that is important for whatever steps are next for you to take.
Okay, great. I'm genuinely curious. So the intent of this course is to activate or facilitate your agency. But maybe I have myself have been highly agentic, so it's highly natural for me. But compared to the time that you before you took this course, so how were you? I when I reviewed personal agency reflection, I see the same thing over and over again. Now you are in the driver's seat. I realized I'm in control, and so on. So how do you compare the past and now in terms of agency?
I mean, I think like you always know that you're making your own decisions and that you're like an autonomous human being, but just like reminding yourself of that in like more ways than one, like that you have the power to like react to certain things the way that you would like to. It's different from just like, do I want to go purchase a coffee or whatever, or do I want to go purchase something else? Like instead of just making like physical decisions with what to do with your body, like you realize that you are much more in control of like your emotional self as well.
Yeah, to kind of bounce off that,
Sure.
I think a lot of people have the mentality of the world is coming at me. And I think it's kind of, that can be dangerous because then you get into a mindset of it's out of your control when it's really not. Everything you do, everything you think, everything you say, to some extent is within your control. So just kind of remembering that is a really easy way to make bad days turn into, okay, how can I make this day better for myself? Like, and just remembering that at the end, like it is, nobody can make you react or respond to the situation other than yourself.
You have the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes some things are out of control, but maybe we need to focus on what we can control. Right? Okay. I don't know whether, yeah, this is a highly relevant question. Let's see how it goes. Can you describe a moment this semester when uncertainty was present and how you responded to it?
Yesterday, I went back to my home because me and my two other co-founders for my business were competing for $15,000 in a pitch competition. It was the awards ceremony networking event, and that we did not know how we placed or what the results were going to be. So the entire night was kind of just suspense. We were distracting ourselves doing networking with other people that were there, but going in, it was very uncertain what was going to happen, uncertain as to what the future of our business would look like if we did not win. And we ended up not winning. So now from there, it was, okay, how do we pivot? It's okay to have, maybe take like the evening or take your 15 minutes to just take it all in and be upset or whatever. But after that, it's really important for me, at least, to be like, okay, what's next? How do I actually pivot from here? How do I actually, like, what do I actually do now for my future? Because whatever I do now is really going to impact the next several years of my life.
Yeah, sometimes failing early is very important, and you are one step forward now. Okay, great.
I think that like situation can be like mirrored onto like almost every aspect of life. Like all you can do in almost any scenario is just try your best, and then it either goes your way or it doesn't, and so then you rebound and act accordingly after that. So yeah, I don't have $15,000 on the line, but there are scenarios where you try your best and things don't go your way, and then you react accordingly.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thanks so much. What helped you maintain motivation when things felt unclear or challenging? Doesn't have to relate to this course, but
I think just like doing things with a purpose, like if what you're doing is unclear or challenging, if you're doing that thing for a reason, then you will be motivated. So just like yeah, like putting your mind and energy towards things that actually matter to you is a very motivating thing to do.
Yeah, I don't really motivate myself based off of what I'm doing at the time, but based off of like what I'm doing. Like I'm self-motivated, not motivated from like results or like the various actions going on, what I see other people doing. I have my own purpose and meaning for myself in my life. And as long as what I'm doing is moving towards that, then it's very hard for me to become unmotivated because I know no matter what actually happens, no matter how like foggy it is, I am still moving in the direction of what like I'm meant to be doing.
Okay, great. Thank you. Um, how has your sense of control, confidence, or direction changed over time?
I mean, I think those are almost things that just naturally develop as just people that are experiencing the world. Like you, yeah, just life experiences will kind of mold your confidence and the way you respond to situations kind of naturally almost.
Could be natural. Yeah. What does being hopeful mean to you now compared to earlier in the semester? Because we also focused on hope and hopefulness and so on.
I guess for me, it's kind of no matter what happens or what I do or how I do it, as long as I give, like, as long as I really apply myself and really try, I will, the result is going to be no matter what happens, it's my best. If I don't win, if I lose, if I fail, I'll know it's the best. Like, I could not have done better. It's not that I didn't miss anything out. So that's kind of like hopeful for me. Like, it makes me more hopeful. And I guess because I know that as long as I keep giving it my all, even if I don't see every time I win, I know it's there and I know I see the growth over time.
Yeah, when one door closes, there will be another door that will open, right? So, okay.
Yeah, kind of like correlating to that. I mean, I feel like you can hope for like two different things almost. You can hope for things to happen, or you can hope for like doors to open so you can apply yourself and make those things happen. And that second option is much more like actionable and a much better mindset to have. Yeah, I don't know. And the both of you were just saying like you are just like trying your best in the situations that are presented to you, and that's yeah, just hoping for situations in which you can apply yourself is really important.
Yeah, to maybe add one more component is that according to hope theory, there's a theory called hope theory. I think I mentioned it in this once this semester. So there are three components. One is having goals. Second, you talked about third one first, but I will talk about third one first. That's agents thinking. In that theory, agents thinking is to try exercise your control. So it's implement and also monitor and also meet your goals by taking action. But the second component is called pathways thinking. It is to come up with multiple ways to achieve your goal. So that's related to the door analogy. So there can be multiple different doors when one door closes. So if you can have multiple options that can lead you to be successful, then yeah, that also can help you to be hopeful. So that's one thing that I wanted to emphasize. All right. Thank you. Thank you, panelists. If you want to stay, if you can, because yeah. Thank you, Namit. Third one. Okay. And is there anyone else for panel 3? Okay. We have. Okay. So panel 3 is about teamwork, leadership, and collective growth. And in this course, we emphasized collective agency as well. The main theme for this course is personal agency, to clarify what you really want to achieve and to learn about how to make those happen. But now we actually, everyone here got involved in exercising collective agency through teamwork and team projects. So we will reflect on that here. So what did you learn about yourself as a team member through the action learning project?
So through the action learning project, the main thing I realized was that I can accomplish a lot more if I work in a team than I could if I worked on my own.
Mhm.
So the project that we did for this course, I don't think I could have done it on my own if I was doing it as a solo project in this amount of time.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I don't have the skill set to do what we did for with my team project. So if I was by myself, I definitely couldn't have done that. One thing that I noticed about myself though is that no matter how good I think I am at communication, I find I'm really not.
Mm.
And that's something that I've been noticing more and more. And this project was especially eye-opening for that. I noticed I could have done a lot more than I did.
Mm.
And that's something I'm going to try to change for the future. But I hadn't really thought about it. And I was always thinking like, oh yeah, I'm good at communicating. I'm good at like whatever. But it's only because I was never on the receiving end of what I was doing. But when I actually thought about, I was like, okay, I could have done better with this.
Yeah, to make you feel better, maybe it's all situational, I feel. Because I've been thinking that maybe I'm a good professor, but looking at the attendance rate and I don't know, I've been feeling, how can I say, I felt highly challenged by that because this is my first time teaching students like in this big class, like 100. So my maximum was last semester, that was 67. And this is a Gen Ed course, as you know. So I think the vibe and students' general expectations are different. So maybe your experience will be different if you communicate with team members in startup, maybe. Yeah, right. Okay. Second one, how did leadership and followership show up within your team?
So I was the team leader of my team. And overall, I think my responsibility was to make sure that things get done and that progress was moving on with time. And to do that, we used several communication strategies. One was obviously during class time. Professor gave us time to discuss our project during class. So during that time, we'd make plans on how to work on this project outside of class. And outside of class, we'd also meet up and work on this project.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think throughout our project, every single one of us at some point took on a leadership perspective and role. We had our team leader who did a lot of like the actual in-class discussions and over the text and communication with you. But then each of us at certain points, like I did a lot with presentations and talking a lot. But we had other people like covering the videos
Right.
and making the PowerPoints and really taking leads on all of that. So it was really like we had our team leader, but we all took part in leadership in one way or another throughout the
So sometimes voluntarily, if you
Yeah.
saw some gap, you volunteer to fill the gap.
Also,
go ahead.
to add to that, I feel like although I was technically the leader of my group, everyone was a leader of their own role. If you look at a big company, there's usually leaders of specific areas of that company. But since there was a small group, everyone had a distinct role. And I think everyone was leading that role.
Great.
In our team. Basically.
Yeah. Thank you. So in a way, leadership and followership are essentially, I think, the same concept in my point of view. because it's all both of them move toward the same direction. Right? Okay. Third, what was one team challenge that contributed most to your growth? So any challenge, so teamwork related challenge that contributed most to your growth.
I think I kind of already touched it on this with the previous question, but I think communication overall was the biggest. I think, sorry, as we went on, our communication got better, but it was definitely, I think, the biggest challenge that we faced. And like I said earlier, I'm definitely a big culprit of that. But as it's also the biggest part where we grew as a team as well.
Cool. So what are some tips? So what were some communication methods that you used, and what was the last one that you ended up with?
I think I don't know if we really changed methods, but we changed consistency.
Ah,
And I think that's a big part because I think there's nothing wrong with most of our communication was either in person or over text, and in person for a lot of stuff we were very like consistent and like engaging with each other and talking and coming up with ideas. And then when we would leave, sometimes it could be like, oh, maybe nobody really talks for a day or two, and then like we're back in class, and then maybe there's one or two texts that go through. But as the semester went on, it became more of like continuing in-person communication, but an elevated number of like texts going through and just more communication on that end, which led to us overall communicating better.
okay, great. Thank you.
I think a trick that worked for our group was that instead of assigning different tasks to each person, assigning one common task to everyone and going through tasks in that sequence. So that just increases the speed at which things get done. So one big task for our project was taking pictures of all the study spaces. So how we divided that was we told everyone in our group to take 5 pictures of 5 different study spaces. And yeah, so basically we had 30 pictures in total by the end.
Okay, to choose from, right?
Yeah, so we had like a list of 30 places.
Oh, okay,
so we just told each person to choose 5.
I see. Yeah. In a way, you divide it up, but at each stage, everyone participated. Okay, good. Okay. So recently, I opened the peer evaluation feedback to you. So if you go to teammates site, you will be able to identify or find out the feedback. I don't know whether you've read the feedback that we received. So if you received the feedback, how did peer feedback shape your self-awareness about teamwork?
Peer feedback was mostly reassuring. So all my peers said that I did well. So
Okay.
that meant that what I'm doing is the right thing. So I just continued doing that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Not gonna lie, I haven't looked at any peer
Okay.
feedback yet, but I know in other classes that I've had like last semester, when I would look a lot, I always try to take away from what I'm getting. I really try to be open to advice and improvement and what to change, what to focus on. And I think I take everything with a grain of salt because you never know how much effort people put into it. But I also try to evaluate everything that's said and don't let anything just be like, oh, don't just brush anything off because that's not me. But
Right.
because I only see myself from my perspective.
Great. Thank you. What would you do differently in future team settings based on this experience, if you have any?
So something I learned from this course is that a team can really benefit if you assign a role to every teammate. So in my future team projects, so for example, I'm going to be doing a CAS project, and that what I'm going to try to do is assign everyone a role so that everyone feels responsible for their part of the work.
So in a way that like role assignment worked positively. Okay, cool.
I don't know. I think it went pretty well overall at the end. Maybe meeting more outside of class. We didn't really meet outside of class, so that might have been able to help with any like miscommunications or problems, or just making sure we are all on task. But other than that, I think it went fine.
Okay, great. Thank you. If you can stay, please, you can stay. We have now. We are moving on to panel 4. We have 2 students signed up. Stephen, Ryan. Stephen from team 4. Ryan from team 16. Do we have them? Okay. And any other volunteers? All right. So. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. So this is about immediate career development needs and next steps. So because this course is essentially about career planning and life design, more focused on your own career development. So let's think about somewhat immediate future. What feels like your most immediate career development need right now, and why? So what? Yeah. What do you perceive your immediate career development needs?
For me right now with my business, money.
Ah,
Yeah, it's with what I'm doing where it's very hard for us to progress right now without funding.
so can you do maybe 30-second pitch about your products or services that you are trying to sell?
So me and my 2 other co-founders, we have a business called Redefined Casual. It's a fashion technology app/website focused on helping people find their identity and confidence through what they wear and how they represent themselves every day. So, and we have various features where you can upload your wardrobe and scan in all of your stuff. We have a system to make it so it's faster than just doing one at a time. And then through an AI feature, it will make outfits based off of your personal style and for various occasions like interviews, dates, job fairs, or just daily life. And that's the core piece of it. There's a lot of other things, but that's the main part of it. But the problem is I'm a corporate innovation entrepreneurship major. My other co-founder is marketing, and my third co-founder is architecture right now. So none of us are actually programming. So we're doing the entire thing through vibe coding, which is programming using AI. And that's wonderful. We're able to do a lot with that, but it also only goes so far. So there's certain security things that we're going to need to pay other people to do for us. More things with just cleaning it up and making it actually function the way that we need to. That goes beyond just having the base made or even the foundations, but it's just really bringing it all together and stuff that we just can't do just using AI. And that all costs money, along with various subscriptions to the AI services and travel. It's for our position right now, it's very much we don't have the knowledge or the resources right now to make what we need to. And that's why this past competition was very determining of our future, because now we have to really decide what we're going to do, because now we don't have the funding that we were looking for. And now we don't know exactly how we need to progress. And if it means maybe we just kind of close this for right now, maybe come back to it in the future when we have more resources, or if it means we go out and look for more opportunities to make money, use more of our savings and really fully invest. So it's just a matter of if we go for the risk or if we just kind of push it to the side for now and regroup at a later time.
Great, thank you.
I'm a graphic design student right now, so I would say my main goal right now is building my portfolio. A lot of internships and jobs right now at this stage are not looking for fully fleshed out job portfolios where I have real life experience. A lot of them are relying on fake, I would say design portfolios, which rely on portfolio projects that are made in class for in-class assignments that still look real. So my main goal right now is doing that through school, but also trying to find potential entrepreneurial opportunities where I could do some freelancing in the graphic design industry. So yeah.
What year are you in right now?
I'm a sophomore right now.
Okay.
So in my program, third years are expected over the summer to have an internship. right now at this stage. So I do have some peers who have internships. Others are like figuring out, like some are doing like portfolio design over the summer, which is probably what I'm going to do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe and some pro bono work to begin with, maybe.
Yeah. That's definitely something that I'll consider for sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Something I want to work on career-wise right now is to learn more about the whole concept of deadlines. So right now in college, all our deadlines are provided to us by our professors and our courses. But as I move on into a professional world where I potentially open my own company, I'll be the one making my own deadlines and giving deadlines to people for certain tasks. So basically, time management is something I want to work on.
Great. Yep. Thank you. Second one, how did this course help you identify areas where you feel ready or not ready yet in your career journey?
I could answer first for this
Sure.
one. So I've known for a very, very long time that I was pretty interested in the design world. My dad is a graphic designer and my mom works in the advertising industry. So my parents' background had a lot to do with my interests growing up. They never really forced it on me. It was
Right.
just like a passion that I had. I was always very interested in art and stuff like that. And I loved like posters and magazines and comics growing up. I would have to say that. What was the question again? Sorry, I got so sidetracked. Right. So I already knew what I wanted to do going into this course because I had like my parents growing up and they like had a big influence on me knowing already what I wanted to do. But at the same time, I didn't really know how to plan for that. And, you know, in my major, they do talk a lot about like what to do, you know, like as your first steps, like getting out of college. But I had never really thought about my 30 plus years, like when I reach that older point in my life where I'm like going to be like really developed into my career and like having to make those big life decisions. I never really sat down and thought about it. Of course, the thoughts have like gathered in my mind, but I've never really put a plan down. And I think that executing a plan within this class, especially within the My Life as a Book, was a really big eye opener for how I really want to operate in order to achieve my goals and my ultimate goals in my life.
Great. Thank you.
So before taking this course, the whole concept of not being ready and thinking about things I'm not ready about wasn't really something on my mind. I'd never really thought about that. I'd only thought about things that I have to get ready for, but never really about things that I might be missing out on without even knowing about it. So when I started planning my life through the My Life as a Book assignment, I realized that there are things up in my future after like 30, 40 years that I might start planning right now, which could really benefit me in my present.
Okay, cool.
You know, they say you don't know what you don't know. And I think that was very true for me in this class, with what I figured out about myself. And in the biggest way it's impacted what I think is ready and not ready for my future career is how the various aspects of wellness and how even though maybe mental and physical might be the most important things for being able to go into a successful career in some people's views, there's every aspect of wellness comes into play, and I think I was neglecting a lot of them because I just wasn't really thinking about them. And the ideas that I've gotten from being in this course have branched out in my life to make me feel more prepared for those various aspects of wellness that I'm going to encounter and that I'm going to have to use in my professional life.
Great, thank you. Can you give us some examples that you are trying to do to maintain your wellness?
Sorry.
So do you have anything that you intentionally try to do to maintain your overall wellness?
Yeah, I just try to be very mindful about all my actions, I think is the biggest part, because that encompasses being like aware of what you're doing is so important to just knowing. It's like having a financial statement or analysis budget for the way you live. Like you understand everything, you're tracking everything, you know exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're saying, exactly why you're saying it. And that encompasses everything. I'm very mindful about my physical wellness, my mental wellness, making sure like I don't overdo anything and making sure I just keep myself healthy in those ways. Also spiritual wellness. I practice my faith very regularly and make sure that I don't neglect that aspect of my life because it's so important. But sometimes you can forget about it because it's your faith. It's your spiritual wellness. You can't see it, and it's not like stuff that's going on directly inside your mind. It's more of a feeling. And so just being very mindful and aware of all of those at the same time have been really beneficial for me.
I definitely think that the coping mechanisms that I learned through the group project that I did are going to help me for a long time. I also just think like approaching the idea of like wellness in like a different idea. When we think about like how people come up to us and say like, oh, like life is scary, like we don't know what to anticipate, and you know, like you're in for like a crazy ride and all these things that like just show like fear and like not knowing what to do. I think that this course just in general is like, what can I do to plan and not be scared about my future and know how to be mentally prepared and like have a stable wellness throughout my life.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think the idea can be, so think about this, how can you make your life future proof? Even if things go wrong, you have plan B, C, and D, and E, and so on. Then you should be fine, right? So you can make that happen. All right. So yeah, what skills, clarity, or experiences do you feel you need next? What skills, clarity, or experience do you feel you need next?
So right now in college, I'm studying engineering, and from every professional engineer that I've heard, they all say that everything you learn in college is just scratching the surface. You start learning when you go into the professional field and start actually applying your concepts to real life scenarios. So something I want to work on is easing that transition by maybe doing an internship or talking to other professionals on how they manage this whole transition from college to professional life.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I think real world experience is what's biggest in like impacting like your learning. So I definitely think like for me, I already mentioned an internship, but I think that is going to be like that first step into like the real world and knowing how the rest of my life within my career is going to look.
Great, thank you.
Earlier in the semester, we talked about the SWOT analysis, and part of that is opportunities.
Right.
And through that, one of the biggest opportunities for me right now is a failure. I don't want to fail, and I'm going to do everything I can to not fail. And so far, I've gotten very fortunate with succeeding in a lot of things I do. But right now, like I was talking about, it seems like there is a chance I am going towards failure. And like I said, I don't want to. I'm going to do everything I can to not experience that. But I know that even though I don't want that, having experienced it, it will probably be one of the most important things that can happen to me. So that's kind of like
more experience. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you. What concrete steps are you planning to take in the near future? For example, exploration, networking, internship, skills building. You already mentioned those, right? But if you want to add anything, you can.
I mean, as I said, my parents work in the industry right now. My dad is currently freelancing. My mom, I've thought like she works in New York City, so I do like know that through her employers and like her coworkers, I might be able to grow my network. Also, just through Penn State itself.
Yeah. And because your dad is a graphic designer, he can be a sole proprietor, and you can be a W-2 employee.
Yeah,
that is possible.
That
So
is true.
yeah, you can explore that, I guess.
For me right now, it's not really necessarily career related, but it is at the same time. It's really personal development becoming like the kind of person that I want to be, because the more I do that, the more it will impact me and help me as I move and as I do more with my professional life. So I'm really just working on and focusing on becoming the person that I want to be right now.
Thank you.
Re- Continuing to this, something that I learned from this course also is the whole concept of never stopping to learn. So as I go into my professional career, I don't want to end my learning at this college level and continue learning about my field.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much. Our last question. How are you thinking about balancing career momentum with well-being at this stage of your life?
I've actually been recently thinking about how at the end of college I might experience like burnout and just be so done with schooling for like the past entirety of my life.
Right,
So
right.
it's like I've been thinking about maybe taking like after maybe like a couple years of like earning my own, taking a year off
Yeah.
and just letting myself travel
Oh, yeah.
because I think that that is one of my goals and I don't want to take a gap year just yet, but I do
Okay.
want to at some point in my life. I know it's
Mhm.
unconventional, but I
Mhm.
think that that's something that I want to do for myself in order to prioritize my wellness over advancing my career and have that balance.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. That would be really nice.
I think I see a lot of people around me going through a cycle of I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna like experience life for this portion of years. Then I'm gonna work for this portion. Then I'm gonna rinse and repeat that cycle, and it's always something being neglected.
Mm.
And the way I've been trying to approach it has been do stuff in my career, try to further myself. Like I'm applying to different programs all the time, trying to do things to make me more ready for professional settings, but also making sure at the same time, like I always have time for the at least one hobby that I enjoy. I always have time to engage with my friends and my family, not like, and just trying to make sure that I might be doing less of each at the same time, but I'm never not doing one of them.
Mhm.
And I think that's very
A
important.
very important habit, I guess, to take care of yourself and so on. Also, invest in something that you really truly enjoy.
So through this course, I've realized that other than my career goals, something that you have to or set goals for is also your health and your social wellness. So something I want to continue doing is setting goals for my health, like exercising regularly or practicing meditation, stuff like that. And for social goals, maybe spending more time with my families or going out with my friends.
Great. Thank you. Any final words? Because this is the final panel. So, good. All right. Namit?
I think overall, what this course has done is that bring thoughts that were in my subconscious mind to my conscious. So I think what that does is once you start consciously thinking about your future and your plans, those thoughts start turning into actions, and those actions then lead to a brighter future for you.
Okay. Yeah. Please give them a round of applause for volunteering. Thank you so much. And okay, you can put that down. So 407. So here, Namit has something to share with you. And
So hey everyone. So I just wanted to share my app Chalkboard that I'm building with my friend. So this app is basically a social media app for scholars and researchers where they can find themselves in an informal environment to share their ideas and research papers. So Professor, if you could just play this video. So here's a video demonstration of my app.
Chalkboard also provides you a way to connect with your peers and catch up with friends by messaging them over project events and check your notifications to stay in the loop. But Chalkboard is also about discovery. See what's trending, or use the Chalkboard Explore page to stay completely up to date with curated articles, posts, and videos from top institutions and creators in the field. Set up your profile today and get verified to unlock exclusive features. Download Chalkboard on the App Store and join the conversation.
So something I'd like to add to that is that this app is not just for researchers and scholars. It's also for people looking for a social media app that encourages learning and not just pointlessly doom scrolling and wasting your time. Through this app, you can have a fun time and also learn. So, uh,
It's in PowerPoint. QR code.
so here's a QR code for the app. I'd really appreciate if you guys could download this app and make an account. It would really help. It would really help my whole company. And I'd like to end this presentation by thanking Professor Yoon and the whole WFED team for letting me present this today. Thank you. And download Chalkboard.
So how many users do you have right now?
Right now we have about 80.
80?
Yeah.
Okay. So need to increase further. Okay. And what's your plan? Do you want to commercialize it and how?
Yeah, I want
Okay.
to commercialize.
Eventually.
Have this as a side business.
Okay, I see. Cool. Great. Thank you. All right. And Halima and Fatun prepare the cupcakes and some soda and candies. Free, you can feel free to take those. For the past classes, I took photos with the students. So you can stop recording, maybe. Great, thank you. Would you be willing to take photo together? And here, so that'll be wonderful. And maybe that would be it.